Good morning. Just to express my gratification that the plenary unanimously approved to adopt and endorse the Unity Blueprint on Immigration Reform, a fair, humane, and rational immigration reform consensus proposal, a progressive alternative proposal on immigration reform that we've been circulating throughout the state for the last several months. In fact, a blueprint that has been adopted by the AFL-CIO, the United Food and Commercial Workers, various other unions, over 1,000 organizations throughout the country. And I'm glad to announce today that the California Green Party has endorsed and adopted the Unity Blueprint on immigration reform, which essentially includes provisions to legalize all of the individuals that are currently in the United States without status, to oppose any bracero-type contract worker programs as pressing on the prevailing wage, creating a subclass of vulnerable workers, opposing the rampant immigration raids and deportations launched by the White House and U.S. Attorney General Alberto Gonzalez against immigrant communities throughout the United States, and opposing all of the other enforcement-laden heavy measures that are circulating, debating, being amended in the Senate currently, and also as representative of legislative proposals submitted to the House of Representatives by Congressman Luis Gutierrez from Chicago, Illinois, who has presented what's called the STRIVE Act, legislation that is enforcement heavy, legalization light. Very similar to the Sensenbrenner bill of last year, H.R. 4437, that really sought to criminalize immigrants throughout the United States and resulted in a unanimity of united action, bringing literally millions of people to the streets, demanding the defeat of the Sensenbrenner legislation and legalization for all those currently in the United States, and the ability for people to come as a result of existing and changing demand for labor, but come in a fair, in a reasonable manner, a humane manner, issuing them permanent resident visas, a fair exchange for the labor that they would provide to the United States, their economic contributions, and not some temporary, disposable, recyclable type of work program as proposed by President Bush, Alberto Gonzalez, Sensenbrenner, and other members of both the Senate and of the House. Thank you. The Green Party has something that the other parties don't have, and that is that it's an inclusive party. This is a party that allows individuals that are not currently eligible to register to vote to actually subscribe to and be a member of the party, as long as they subscribe to the 10 key values, that they declare their willingness and their intention to register with the Green Party once they do become eligible, and also that they're involved in local green activity. That tells us that the Green Party is inclusive to ex-felons, to minors, to immigrants. There was a day when immigrants had the right to vote. They were squashed, they were excluded, they were marginalized because of their great success in organizing themselves against the repressive raiding policy that occurred different years with different immigrant groups. I'm not talking about the current situation. We all know and familiar with the current situation, but there were other ugly eras in the history of the United States when immigrants fought back, massive movements, built their own political machines, elected individuals to office, and they were slapped down and denied the right to vote. But the Green Party represents an opportunity for all these marginalized, disenfranchised segments of our population that are still contributing to the wealth of America to be part of a party. And that's essentially what particularly the organizations that I'm involved with in the immigrant rights movement intend to do throughout the United States, build the Green Party within the immigrant communities, because the Green Party and the values of the Green Party concur with the needs, with the desires, the values of the immigrant communities of America. They no longer concur with what the two main political parties that are quibbling around the edges currently in Congress about a framework for immigration reform that essentially will codify a modern labor management system of exploiting in a legal manner, exploiting as a subclass immigrant workers. Even those that they talk about providing the prospect of legalizing their status in the United States, in reality it will set them in a subclass situation of vulnerability to corporate America, both large, medium, and small, rural, urban, on their terms, on corporate America's terms, to be exploited in a manner perhaps unseen in the modern era. And we're also set in place a massive guest worker program that would do nothing more than to press on the prevailing wage for all Americans. This is the epitome of NAFTA type turned inward to America, what corporate America can no longer do in certain industries, export those jobs to other countries. Now they need to, in a more legal way, import those workers into the United States, but set them as a subclass category to be exploited by corporate America and recycle them out. We're in the era of modern era of recycling our disposables. And this is corporate America seeking recycled and disposable workers. When they're done with them, recycle them out of the country instead of allowing them an opportunity, as Daniel mentioned, fair trade. Not this so-called free trade that they talk about, but fair trade. What is fair trade as that applies to immigrants? Well, if I'm willing to come to America to provide a service that America requires, and it appears that there's no other eligible, readily available individuals to accept that job, and I'm willing to do it, then a fair trade to me is a permanent resident visa that will allow me to work here in a legal way, not in the shadows, and be protected by all the federal and state statutes that also protect other working Americans. And that's a tremendous opportunity for the immigrant communities of America to have a party that says, we stand for you because you stand for us. And our doors are open. We want you to become a member of the party. We want you to be active in the party. We want you to organize around the issues. We want you to make America greener.
Thank you.